Hi, I'm Andy Jenkinson, Caravan industry expert. Welcome to my channel. Hi and welcome to a new video. Now today I'm at Campbell's Caravans at Preston Lockstock Hall, one of my old stomping grounds. I've been coming here for God knows well since with my parents, probably since about 1969-70, so that's a long time. Then in those days there were big Luna dealers and they've sold all sorts of brands actually, but at one time they actually sold Bailey. But by the early 80s they finished with Bailey and moved on to other brands. 10 years ago they started back with Bailey again, and it's here I've come to see the Unicorn. Now I was getting quite excited about the PR pictures I've seen of the Unicorn, but my great belief is until you've actually seen it in the flesh you can't really pass comment. So here I am looking at the transverse bed and Washroom, the Vigo, and I'm hoping it's going to really be all it's cracked up to be. I've had a very brief look round. I'm not going to pass any comment until I actually drive round, until I actually go around the van itself, so I'm not going to say anything at the moment. But what you will notice straight away is probably the massive big window here at the front that sweeps right up, which basically is a front window stroke sunroof, if you like. Something that Bailey decided to do some years ago, and it seems to have worked. Now as I say, they've extended it over so it looks quite a lot of lighting, and what they've done basically is they've moved the high key roof vent further back. Now they've put a midi high key in this time, and they've actually stuck it over the kitchen area, and there's a few things I've sort of noticed now that well, I don't think it's quite right, but anyway, let's get on with the review. I'm in the front lounge here, of course, and first of all I'll just sort of say is the seating seems relatively comfortable. These got a slight slope on the back, and good cushions here, good bolster units in the corners, and also you've got some velvet finish here, the little flaps there to stick your newspaper in, or your favourite Caravan magazine, Practical Caravan maybe, or if you're really lucky you might have one of my books you might put in there. But anyway, I won't plug the books today. Right, let's crack on, and I'm going to start over in the kitchen area, and well, let's take it from there. Right, okay. What can we say here? Well, we've got quite a lot of work surface here, and we've also got this large sink unit which is quite close to the actual edge of the kitchen. I think it could have done with being a little bit further over if we're going to be picky on that. Also, of course, you've got an extension flap here, and that is quite a decent size in all fairness, so that really does open this up. Now, there's also this fancy splashback, and just in case you forget where you're at, you're in a Unicorn. You've got your Aldi heating control up here, and you've got two main sockets, and of course you've got your light sockets here, which obviously don't work because they're not connected. So, when it comes to the cooker, you've got the latest Thetford, which of course comes with a dual fuel hob and oven. It's the latest Thetford unit, so that's all nicely placed in there. And of course you've got the new Dometic microwave in there, and for the first time Bailey have actually made this look really good. They've actually finished it off. The Dometic looks far better. It blends in than any of the microwave I think they've fitted. And having said that, one of the reasons is, of course, it's because it's made, you know, it's designed more for the Caravan. Right, now you've got your lockers up here. They come out this way. There we go. So quite a bit of storage there. They're using this sort of units. I remember Swift using that a lot on the early, I think it was a 2010, 2011 sprites, and even use that sort of, that finish as well. I can't make my mind up with that. I don't know if that looks a little bit down market, which seems a shame. You got an LED light strip under there, so you shouldn't be in the dark at all when you're doing your cooking. And what I was a bit surprised at actually is what they've done is they've put this MIDI high key up there, but we're talking a 28 grand van. I would have thought there would have been a extractor fan fit up here above the kitchen area. I'm a little bit surprised at that, but anyway, that's as be. Storage wise, well, you've got these big drawers when they come out, although they're not all that deep in there, but they're big enough, and they should slide back, and there you go. And you've got two of those, sorry, and then one there underneath. Now, as well, you've got the storage for your wine bottles, should the need be. For me, that would be beer bottles would be going in there. And of course, what you've got on this side is the Dometic fridge freezer. Now it's a slimline design, but don't forget this Caravan's, although it will sleep full, it will be used mainly by two people, so consequently that would be big enough. Before it could be a bit of a squash, sorry, excuse me. You've got some storage up here too, and that closes nice and softly. Plus you've got the control panel. This is quite fancy but very simple, and you've also got the control here for the Truma. I think it's for the solar panel up there, to be quite honest, without looking. I've got my glasses on. Little LED lights up here, and this is where your TV will go. Now what they've done, they've got this like padded thing here. I don't know if that just looks a little bit, I don't know. I think they'd been better just leaving it as wood. I can see what they've been trying to do, but I think it just looks a little bit, I wouldn't say tacky, that's just too strong a word, but anyway, it's down to taste. And you've got this nice little corner unit as well, and again some storage there, and here for your lights again too. What I do like is the fact is that Bailey have actually stuck to having a stable door, which is great, because stable doors, I didn't open it up, stable doors are fast disappearing off Caravans, and I think that's a shame because I still like the old stable door. So that's your kitchen area. We'll go into the rear bedroom and have a look at that. Right, here we go. Transverse bed, of course. Now here we've got, of course, a decent sized bed here. Obviously when you pull that out obviously at night time, so you can well, obviously have it away now so we can move around. But these sorts of fancy corners. Now I'm sure I've seen that idea before, and I'm sure I've seen it on a hobby or something actually at some stage. Do I like it? Yeah, it looks alright. It's not bad. It's a little bit different on a UK van. Again, loads of storage at this top end here. I'll just move around, sorry. There you go, so big deep lockers. And also you've got your storage units here, these little cupboard things here, and some little shelves hidden behind the mirror. Plus some storage as well, just here down by the side. Again, I mean that's overly big. I think you'd have to travel fairly light, because with them curving it off there, it has taken some of that away. But anyway, shut that up. What else can we say? Well, there's a shelf. There's a shelf here as well. There's a shelf here, and what they've done is they've obviously got the blinds here, and these curtains are really just make believe. Now, personally, I've had a go at sort of when Swift put a pad here and did away the curtains, but I think actually, looking at it, Bailey may have been better doing the same thing, to be honest with you, because it just doesn't look right, I don't think. But anyway, that's down to me, my idea. Now, just before we go into the rear end washroom, again, roof vent. I think you should have a high-key roof vent in here, proper. Well, even a MIDI high-key roof vent, the one that's like over in the kitchen unit there, I think it should be over here as well. I don't think it should. I think it should definitely have a bigger roof vent over. There's plenty of light coming in, but a big one would have just been, I think, the icing on the cake. Right, okay, let's go into the washroom and see what that's about. Right, this is obviously a sliding door. We're straight into the washroom here. Now, straight away what I've noticed is Bailey have started to put a window back in the washroom again, and quite rightly so. And that's a good point. That's a massive point as far as I'm concerned, because obviously, apart from the light, you also get the ventilation. Now, whether it should be a frosted one or not is debatable. Wouldn't bother me either way, to be quite honest. I've got a window there, I can always open up. Now, storage wise, you've got this with some little, it's covered here with the little shelves. You've got these neat little bits here, and also you've got the cupboard storage underneath the sink. Plus, as well, you've got this little bit here, but you know, for when you're on site you can stick things up there, but you mustn't forget actually that you've got bits there. And you've got a radiator here for the alder heating. Now, the sink has been sort of, but it's very, very shallow. I'm quite amazed at that actually. I think that might have been better as a standalone type sink instead of trying to do that, because at least you'd have got more water, and that does look a bit tight. And in the shower itself, well, that's fine, it's all sealed off. There's a mirror there, unfortunately you can see me, and it's a strip mirror. It looks a bit like someone's added that when they bought the van as a bit of a retrofit. I don't know really why. I don't think I'd have bothered with that mirror personally. But full marks that they've got the roof vent in here, some LED lighting, it's big enough, and yeah, there's no fancy soap dispenser holders or anything in the corners that you find on some vans. You've just got that shelf there. But all in all, it's not a bad washroom. It's not overly wide. You know, getting changed in here you could do it, but it's not, as I say, over generous on space. But all the same, it's not bad at all. So I think it's time to do a general conclusion, folks, and see what's up. Well, I say general conclusion. Yeah, a general conclusion, and we'll have a quick look at that lounge as well while we're at it. Right, here in the lounge, just let me show you, is that the panel there, for people that aren't really aware of, Bailey stick the leisure battery in the floor here. Tablet were doing that some years ago, It's something that motorhome manufacturers do. The only thing I find with that is you've got to lift that up, lift it out, and then lift it out through the actual van. Where on the side, like the conventional ones, you just literally take it out from the side and you're outside already. So I think that's quite. I know you're not going to be taking that out all the time, but even so, it's still a lot of faffing about, I think, personally. But anyway, so in the lounge, what we got? There's a little alarm sensor down there. But first of all, I noticed this again. There's no flaps there at all, so you've got to lift the whole thing up. There's quite a bit of storage in there, but of course, don't forget, some of that will disappear because if you use the side locker, because this is no front gas locker still, you'll lose some of your space. You've got a locker there, and I presume that's for the van's electrics. Maybe. No, it isn't. Now they put a lot. No, right. I just don't understand why they didn't continue that down, make that slightly bigger, and also do the same on this other side. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. But somebody's thoughts of ours. Okay, I suppose. You've got a good, strong, solid drawer here as well, which is really good. That's probably one of the best solid drawers I've seen for a long time. Because some of them are quite flimsy, you'll have noticed that as you looked around vans. Plus you've got your table here. Of course you then have a full freestanding table to go in here. And again, we've done this thing again with the curtains. I mean, I'm a curtain fan, I like my curtains in the Caravan, but I'm just wondering if it would have been better just either pinning those back or putting panels like Swift did. I'm not a big fan of that, but anyway, that's as may be. But I still think that just looks a little bit, the curtains just look a little bit of an afterthought. And of course we've got this massive big ear front window like we said before, and the speakers for the radio system are in this moulded section here with LEDs. There's only 2 LED lights here. Now I press this in and to me that feels a little bit tad flexible. Some of the camera's probably on a bit light on you there, I don't know. That just feels a little bit too flexible for my liking, but hey, it's not going to cause any major problems, is it? You know, you're not going to be in here when the Caravan's travelling. Cupboard gets again storage is fine. Status TV area, which I'm always good to see, always brilliant to see, and also a little lock here for your radio. It just closes nice and neat. That's a little bit loose actually. Just needs tightening up a bit. That'll be done on PDI, I'm sure. So that closes nice and neat. I do like the design of the lockers. The wood is very light, and I don't know if it makes it that light. It just feels a little bit, how can I put it, a bit clinical maybe. But then again, maybe I'm just being a bit critical on that, I don't know. But I'd like to see your comments on that. And of course, let's get down to a basic summary. Yeah, let's summarise this up, and I'll put that flat back up again as well. Well, what do I think of the latest Unicorn offering? Well, I think it feels a very light and airy van inside. It feels very spacious, and it's got 1 or 2 nice little features. I like the fact that the windows have gone back in the washrooms again. That's something that should never have come out. And also, you know, the seats are quite comfortable, but there's 1 or 2 things that I just do feel that should have been, you know, should have been happening on the Unicorn. And that's, there definitely should have been an extractor fan up above the kitchen area, and not just stuck a MIDI hikey roof vent in there. And at a price of over £28,000, I've got to start thinking: is this van? Does it really shout £28,000 at me? Possibly not. But regarding other things like the storage is good. You're going to remember there's probably 2 people using this a lot, so for 2 people it's going to be fine. That rear end washroom is pretty good. There's good storage. The hand basin I think is a bit shallow. There might have been better with a standalone there. I don't know, but then again that's down to a matter of opinion. The actual shower cubicle's fine. It's got a good roof vent in there, so it lets out the steam and also lets in good lots of natural light. And there's a bit of room there to get changed as well. The bedroom is quite big enough. The wardrobe's there a little bit tight on hanging space. Depends how much clobber you take. If you're like my wife, she'd take the whole house with her, with all her wardrobe of stuff. But she's not listening. No, she's not. So you know, she would probably have a whinge at that and say there's not enough storage and for hanging space. Overhead locker storage fine, and again interior lighting is pretty good, but things like the GRP interior wall finish is something now that needs to be changed. That feels very dated. It dates back from 2010 Pegasus, and also the polystyrene fillet inside the lockers as well. Again, those are little things that really I'd like to see disappear and replace with some nicer trim of some discreet instead of polystyrene. It just sort of lowers the tone a bit. Kitchen, decent worktop. Love this big flap here. Sink seems very close to the actual floor area, you know, so if you're washing up you could splash out onto the floor if you're not careful, and that could be a bit of a problem for some people. If my brother-in-law is a very messy washer up and he tends to spread the soaps all over the place, so I think that could have done with going in a little bit, to be quite honest, and I think that would have been an improvement. But on the whole, if you're a Bailey fan, I think you'll love it. If you're looking at other Tourers, then you may consider looking at this, and you may consider this as a purchase. I don't know. Again, you know, it's down to what people think. When you put it against something like maybe a Coachman Arcadia or something like that, it might not actually quite cut it, and it just feels a little bit, well, the unit around the massive big window here, it just felt a little bit flimsy, that type of thing really. I just thought it was a little bit down market, and as I say, no access flaps on the seat base as well. Again, on a van of this price, that should be definitely a standard fit, and also a larger roof vent in that bedroom. So please keep subscribing, please keep giving us your comments. If you disagree, I'm not bothered, tell me, whatever. And you know, you may come up with something I haven't, I don't know, but please keep subscribing, and please keep watching the videos. And from Preston, I'm off because it's about to come down heavy rain by the looks of things. I don't want to get wet going to the car, and hopefully I'll be getting used to this new camera, which is yeah, taking a bit of getting used to. I've got to get it working proper yet, so if it's looking a bit fuzzy, it's probably down to me. See you soon.